Hey, this video is 4.11.6 right versus left square for Carol. So we've got, let me go ahead and look at the problem real quick. So the exercise says we need to write a program for Carol, and we've got to put balls in a square. We've got her facing east, and we also have her facing north. Okay. So the very first thing that I like to do is I like to go ahead and write down some pseudocode. This is an excellent example of doing a top-down problem where we're going to break this up into smaller pieces, and then we are going to write this code. So let's break this down. Let's get started. Let's minimize this, and let's write some pseudocode. So it says that when I do pseudocode, I'm just going to put it in I'm going to put it in as a comment. So it says we're going to do an if facing north. Okay. Okay, so we've got an if statement that we have to do, and then it also says we need to do a function called make right square that does put ball, and it moves. Oh, I'm sorry guys, I can't highlight this, but it's right here. It's put ball, move, and turn right, and it's called make right square. I can do, yeah, I can. Sure. There we go. And I can make this bigger for us. Okay, so we've got, oh, yeah, that doesn't help. Okay, make right square. Let's see if we can finish this. Okay, make right square. And that's a function. And it wants us to use put ball, move, and turn right. Okay? Then it wants us to do a second function of make left square. Same thing. Put ball, move, and turn left. Okay? So, and this one was if facing east. Okay? Then the last thing that it says something about a for loop. It says you should use a for loop in your solution. So, let's go back over here and let's say use a for loop. Okay, then I'm going to be done with my multi-line comment so that I put an asterisk, I go backwards, and I do a slash, and that closes my multi-line comment. Alright, so let me get rid of this, let me make this big, and let's take a look. So, top down. When we're doing a top-down, we break things up into smaller little problems so that we can manage it. I really don't know what code I'm going to use right now, but I know that I can make a function. I can make a make right square, and I can make a make left square, and then we'll see what happens. So let's do those functions first. So function, make right square. Remember to open your curly braces, and we're going to put our put ball. And we're going to do a move, and we're going to do a turn right. Okay, there's my function. I'm just going to copy this one, Control C, Control V to paste, and then now I'll change that to left square. And change that to left square. Okay, so turn left. Alright, so I've got my functions written. And then let's give ourselves some space here. Let's write our start function. Start, and let's alright. It said something about an if. Okay. Let me refresh on what an if statement would be looking like. So I'm going to come over here to my documents and I'm going to take a look at if statements. Okay, so here's the condition, and then it's got to move, and we've got some if else's. So let's take a look. Okay, I think I'm going to use an if else, and let me look at the conditions. So it does actually have one that's called if facing north, and they have one that's called if facing east. So let's take a look at our code again. Carol's facing east. It's the east world, so I'm going to go with east. That's, you know, if facing east. Okay, if facing east, remember the function. Then we need to open our curly brace, and there's our closed curly brace. And, let me look at those docs again and take a look at that if else. Okay, so we've got that first line written. Now we have to have some kind of a command. So I don't know what command yet I'm going to put. So I'm just going to put a command. And notice I did a single line comment because I don't really know what I'm going to put yet. I'm just kind of building it. Then I do want to use an else. So then here is my curly brace again. And then another command. Alright. So now I've got to go back and figure this thing out. So let's take a look at our run code and see what we've got. Carol is facing east. So that first line is going to say, hey Carol, are you facing east? Carol says true. So then the next thing that happens is we do this command. So I've only got two of these. I either have to do a right square or left square. So let's try let's just type one in. Make right, square. Alright. Let's see what happens. Let's run. Okay, he's facing east. Yep, that's true. Put ball, move, turn right. Oh darn. Okay, turn the wrong way. So let's try left. Okay, let's reset and run that. Okay, facing east, make a left square. That looks good. Okay, it didn't put another ball. I need that to happen 4 times. So okay, so now maybe this is where I can put a for loop in. So let's put a for loop in there. Remember, we have to do our variables for I. Remember, we call it I just for ease's sake, convention. And then we need to set our counter. And in this instance, our counter is 4, because we need it to run 4 times. And then we need our counter to count up. So we do our I++. And then, of course, we open our curly brace here and come down here and close our curly brace. And it's going to complain about all the indents. I'm going to, there. Oh, I don't know if it would, well, let's try. Oh, it did work. I shift, selected all that, and then I tabbed, and that worked. Alright, let's reset. So it's facing east, make left square. So it moves, puts balls, turns left, and then it goes back, and I don't have an else. But this is a good thing. It's basically when it runs that loop 4 times, it's asking again and again, is facing east, is facing east. And right now, Carol's not facing east. Carol's now facing north. So this loop, even if I had make right square down here, it would still, well, let's try it. Let me show you what happens. Make right square. Let's reset. I think she's stuck in a loop. Alright, so if facing east, make left square, put ball, move, turn left. Now, if facing east, nope. So then it goes to the second one. That looks pretty good, but it continuously asks if facing east. So we were good up to the point where Carol went up, okay? But then we start this loop again, and we're again asking if facing east. Carol wasn't facing east. Carol was actually facing north. So I think that's going to continue to happen because Carol's only facing east the very, very first time that we're in here. Other than that, here Carol was facing north. Here, Carol, if we need this one to happen 4 times and it turns left, Carol would be facing west. And then over here, Carol would be facing south. So the for loop up here was not a good idea. So let's get rid of that. Don't forget to get rid of your curly brace. Let's get all of these. And let's backspace. Oops, that certainly didn't work. Okay, I might not be able to. Oh, Shift Tab. There, Shift Tab will take care of those indents. All right, now, well, I do need this to happen 4 times, so let's try a for loop down here. For I equals 0, I is less than 4, and I plus plus. Open curly, come down, close curly. Alright, there's our for loop. And yes, it's going to complain about my tabs again. There. Anyway. Alright, let's reset that. Okay. So we actually, I don't really care about that code right now. What I want to know is if wind facing east, will this work? Let's reset and let's run. Okay, so making left, so it should run 4 times. Maybe that's looking really good. Sweet. Ah, perfect. Yay. Now then, let's go to the other world. Let's go to our north world. Carol's definitely not facing east. So that would be this one. So if we're in the right square, Carol would put a ball, Carol would move right here, and then Carol would turn right, which would be, I think, the right way. Yeah. But again, that would only happen 1 time, so we have to put another for loop in here, because we need that to happen 4 times. For I is equal to 0, and then I is less than 4, and then I plus plus, open my curly bracket, come down here, close my curly bracket, select all of this stuff, and tab. No, that's not right. There. Okay. Except for that one. Let's see. Alright, let's reset. And let's run. Not facing east, so we're going to do the right square. Okay, so that's looking good. That's looking good. Hey, this is perfect. So, it works in both worlds. This takes care of the east. Let me speed that up. And this takes care of the north. Sweet. Alright, so this was a great example of top-down design, where we broke it up into little pieces and used our pseudocode to create our very efficient and very concise code. Alright, bye.